Alright, ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to start a new topic. Before starting new topic, we have a do now question. What is the factored form of 3x cubed y minus 12x y cubed? To be able to factorize this expression, you need to get greatest common factor first. What is the greatest common factor of this expression is 3xy. If I get the 3xy parenthesis, what expression is going to come? Is going to become x squared. What about here? It's going to be negative 4y squared. From here, if we use the difference of two squares, you can factorize this expression as a 3xy times x minus 2y times x plus 2y. And this is your factor form. Factor the given expression completely. As you see here, ladies and gentlemen, if there's a greatest common factor, get it first. What is the greatest common factor of this expression is 2. If I get the two parentheses, what expression is going to become 25x squared. Then what expression is going to come from here is going to be 16y squared. I can write 25x squared as a 2 times 5x squared minus, I can write 16y squared as a 4y squared. If you use the difference of two squares, you can get it 2 times 5x minus 4y times 5x plus 4y. If you want, you can distribute the 2 into the first expression, and the final answer will become 10x minus 8y times 5x plus 4y. The last, 4x squared minus 81. Remember that, ladies and gentlemen, 4x squared can be written 2x squared. Negative 81 can be written 9 squared. This is also a difference of the two squared. Then you can factorize 2x minus 9 times 2x plus 9. And this is your answer. Today we are going to learn how to use the properties of the radical expressions to rewrite the expression. First, before starting this, I would like to give the product property of the square roots. If you are taking the product of two expressions AB in the radical sign, you can write as a radical A times radical B. So how am I going to simplify this radical expression? Radical 16 is the perfect square. That's why you can simplify as a 4 squared. Take the radical, which is equal to 4. What is the radical 20? As you know that radical 20 is not perfect square. To be able to simplify non-perfect square expression, you have to make sure that one of the factor must be perfect square. So what are the factor of the 20 is 5 times 4, right? So can I write this as a radical 5 times 4? Yes, because 4 is the greatest perfect square. Can I separate them? Radical 5 times radical 4. After that, how can I simplify the radical 4? Is it 2? Can I take the 5 out of the root? No, so leave it. 2 radical 5 is the simplified form of radical 20. What is the radical 36? This is perfect square. Then we can say that 6 is your answer. 7 to 2. Is it perfect square? No. Now, what am I going to do? I am going to find two factors, but one of them must be greatest perfect square. First, for example, 8 times 9 is one of the pair of factors, right? Because 8 times 9 is equal to 72. What else? 36 times 2. As you see here, 36 is greatest perfect square. Then can I rewrite the expression as a 36 times 2? After that, how can you simplify the 36? How can you get it out of the radical? Is it 6? Can you take the 2 out of the root? No, leave it. 6 radical 2 is your answer. Rewrite each expression to remove perfect square factors in the radical. 44. What are the two factors? 4 times 11. Remember that one of the factor must be greatest perfect square. How can you simplify the 4? How can you get the 4 out of root? Is it 2 and leave the 11? 2 radical 11 is your answer. What about the radical 27? Please tell me what is the 2 factor of 27 is 3 times 9. Remember that, ladies and gentlemen, I can get 9 out of the root as a 3. So 3 times 3, radical 3. You can multiply these two numbers, then your answer will be 9. Radical 3 is your answer. Next one, radical 63. What are the two factors of the radical 63? Is 9 times 6. 9 times 7. As you see here, 9 is the greatest perfect square. I can take the 9 out of the root as a 3. 3 radical 7 is your answer. What is the equivalent expression for 1/3 radical 180? We are going to use the same idea, ladies and gentlemen. To be able to simplify this expression, you need to get two factors, and one of the factors must be greatest perfect square. 1/3, 1/3, and what are the factor of 180? There are a couple of factors, of course. For example, 2 times 90, 3 times 60, right? And what about this? 36 times 5. As you see here, 36 is the greatest perfect square. Now I can get the 36 out of the root as a 6. You cannot get the 5 out of the root. That's why I leave it. When you multiply this, you will get 6/3 radical 5. When you simplify, you will get 2 radical 5 is the simplest form of this expression. Next one. What is an equivalent expression for radical 63 times x to the power 9? As you see here, there's also expression inside the radical. 63 times x to the power 9. The idea is the same, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to get simplest form. To be able to get this, find the factor of 63, and one of the factors must be greatest perfect square. 9 times 7. Times, what about x to the power 9? Can I write the x to the power 9 as a x to the power 8 times x? Because remember that if you multiply two factors with the same base, you need to add powers. 9 can be taken out of the root as a 3. 7 you cannot. So, what about x to the power 8? Remember that, ladies and gentlemen, the degree of the root is 2. That's why 8 divided by 2 is 4. So x to the power 8 can be taken out of the root as a x to the power 4. What is left inside the radical? 7 times x. If you simplify this, you will get 3 times x to the power 4. Radical 7x is the simplest form of your expression. Rewrite each expression to remove perfect square factors in the radical. Look at this. Can I write the 25x cubed as a radical 25 times radical x cubed? What is the radical 25? Is 5 times. What is the radical x cubed? Can I write the radical x cubed as a x squared times x? Why am I trying to write in this way? Because the degree of the radical is even, so, and also this is 2. X to the power 2 is going to be taken out of the root as a x, but the x inside the radical, you cannot take it out of the root, that's why I leave it. So 5x times radical x is your answer. Next question. 5 times radical 4 times radical x to the power 17. I know that 4 can be taken out of the root as a 2. 5 times 2, x to the power 17. You need to write this expression with the highest even power. X to the power 16 times x. How can I get the x to the power 16 out of the root? 5 times 2 is 10. And x to the power 16 can be taken out of the root as a x to the power 8. Why? Because 16 divided by 2, 2 is the degree of the root. So x to the power 8 can be taken out of the root. And what is left inside radical? X. So 10 times x to the power 8 times radical x is the simplest form of this expression.